welcome back. As you can tell from my surroundings today, we have a pretty awesome interview lined up. We're going to talk baseball, we're going to talk gloves, we're going to talk bats, and more. So let's get started. I'm Grayson Knight, and this is Baseball Podcast Are Fun. If you're in the Atlanta area, you already know that Better Baseball is the premier baseball superstore for anything you could ever want. But even if you're in England or Germany or Brazil, you've probably heard of this store in part thanks to their awesome social media guru, Michael Buice. Michael has helped Better Baseball stay viral thanks to his very popular order packaging videos, which you should check out if you haven't already. Today, we're going to learn more about Michael's journey to baseball and how he's helped the store become a must-see location for any visiting ball player in the area. Folks, please welcome Michael Buice.
Woo! Claps. Dude, that's an intro right there. You've got me excited for myself.
How are you, Michael?
Dude, I'm good. I'm glad you guys come here on a little bit of an early morning, but I'm in glove world, so I'm obviously kind of in paradise.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me out here.
Yeah, dude, awesome. I'm just glad it worked out.
Yeah. So real quick, is it true that your college teammates called you Miami Vice?
Yeah, I had a lot of nicknames. That was one of many.
All right, because I completely made that up, and I had no idea they did that. So.
Well, they did. But okay,
wow,
I'd say actually that's more of a work name. They would say what was we named a glove after me, like internally. So, Miami Buice. Yeah, it was the Miami Buice. It was a Wilson A2000. Wow, that did come up at college one time. It was more of Buice, Juice, Goose, Buice, Bucci, Bad and Bucci, Beauty in the Game. Yeah, I had a lot of nicknames.
That's awesome. Yeah, I completely made that up, but that's a great nickname.
Have you ever had that happen where someone actually had heard that nickname even though you made it up?
No, not really.
I was gonna wonder. I was like, how did he know that? Yeah. That was actually one of very few.
Was it like an inside joke or something?
They're always inside jokes.
Well, now I know.
Now you know.
Now the whole world knows.
Now the world knows. Oh, that's not good.
So we have a lot to discuss, but for the people that don't know, you got started in baseball in Marietta, Georgia, right down the road from you. Is that right?
Yeah, I literally went to it was Kell High School District, so I was right beside East Cobb. So East Cobb was my backyard my entire life until I was 20 something years old. So I got pretty lucky with that. So yeah, lived up here, and this is where I started.
So you want to tell us about your baseball story?
Yeah, going all the way back, like pretty basic, normal. Oh, I started throwing when I was, a month old and all that good stuff. I played on one travel team from, I want to say it was 10U to 15 or 16U. Pretty crazy. I was on the same team for like 5 years, which I feel like is unheard of now. Mm-hmm. Then moved into like the East Cobb world and went to a private school. Like it's a hybrid school. It was like an academy. So I went to school twice a week. So that actually gave me some opportunities to do a little bit more baseball, which was nice. And then got recruited very, very beginning of my senior year to Young Harris, and then 5 years there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then of course baseball career is kind of still going here. Obviously, I'm not playing anymore. Kind of thank goodness my arm's dead, but I get to still live in baseball.
So did you have any siblings that you competed with?
Actually, no. Well, maybe a little bit. My sister is older than me, but she's a sister, so I didn't really have that. My dad was pretty competitive with me, so I guess I had that. But no real sibling competitive nature going on.
Did your dad ever play baseball?
Yeah. My dad actually played at Vanderbilt. So that was kind of cool to growing up. People were like, "Oh, you're gonna go play at Vandy like your dad?" And I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, "Yeah, I'm not that good." But that was always kind of the goal. I was like, "Oh, go play at Vandy," and then I grew up a little bit. Was like, yeah, I don't want to go there.
Well, that's great that your dad went to Vanderbilt. That's really
I'm actually third generation college pitcher. So he went to Vanderbilt, and then my great grandfather played at Tennessee Tech.
Wow,
and we all pitched. So that's really cool. Mm-hmm. That is really cool. And one more little fun story.
Family,
yeah, runs in the family. I went to a showcase once at Middle Tennessee. I think it was Middle Tennessee, and we get there, and my dad's like, "Oh my gosh, I actually pitched on this mound one time." I was like, that's so cool. You and me get to pitch on the same mound, like through all the years. Turns out, I think my grandfather pitched there too. It was one of his outings. So we had 3 generations play at one school. Wow. Now, I think the field is still in the same spot, so it should be the same mound. Mm-hmm. But that was always kind of cool.
That's really cool. So when you're in high school, besides baseball, what were you thinking about pursuing a career in?
Um, in high school, man, I had no clue. I had, I want to say I wasn't interested in baseball, but baseball didn't really get going for me until like my junior year when like college stuff started popping up, and I was like, all right, like I'm gonna do the college baseball thing. Um, I was never good in school, actually, like really bad in school, but I could always talk to people, and I always like business ish stuff. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna go to college and do business unless baseball works out. So I kind of got the best of both worlds now, a little bit of baseball, a little bit of business.
Yeah, this is an awesome job.
Yeah, I literally have a dream job.
Yeah,
So
this is awesome. So, what was your major at Young Harris?
so it's kind of funny. I started out as marketing, which would make sense since I do
Yeah,
social media
clearly.
marketing. Yeah, it would make sense. But I changed very early. I asked a teacher after a class once, and I was like, "Hey, like, when are we going to learn about like social media and algorithms and stuff?" And they're like, "Oh, we probably won't learn that unless you get like a master's degree." And I was like, "I'm like two classes in, and they're still telling me why like the McDonald's sign is red and yellow." And I'm like, okay, I think I'm a little bit past this. So I changed out of marketing because I wanted to at least learn something that I didn't already know. So I always say that my social media that I did in high school, in college, was my marketing degree. And then I have a degree in public policy, which is like a broad critical thinking business degree that has a lot of politics involved too. So yeah, I actually didn't do marketing. Everyone thinks I did marketing, but I didn't. I
Wow.
just started off as that.
But this is awesome what you've been doing, and
Yeah,
you can't really tell that you didn't do marketing because the way you do
that's
your
good.
videos, yeah. So you were pretty much a PO. That's a pitcher only grandpa mark if you're listening. So did that start in high school or college?
It started late high school. My junior year, I was still playing a little bit of every position. I was always like jack of all trades, master of none. Junior year rolled around and people started throwing really hard, and I started to really struggle at the plate. And I got on a team that was really good, and I just didn't get to play the field a whole lot. And by the time senior year rolled around, like pitching was my position, and that's what I wanted to do. Um, so yeah, PO basically just senior year. And then yeah, college, there was no chance of me ever playing in the field. I could not hit anything above like 86.
Do you remember the last time you took an at bat?
Yes. I got 3 at bats my spring of senior year. I went 1 for 3.
Oh,
I
nice.
had, I want to say like a line out, a K, and then the guy on the mound was an amphibious pitcher. I'm just he's ambidextrous.
Yeah.
He was an ambidextrous pitcher, and I got a base hit off him. So I like
Wow.
flipped the bat, and I was just like, "There's no way this is gonna be my last hit." This is good to remember, right? Like,
Yeah.
got a hit off an ambidextrous pitcher.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was my last hit.
I
Senior
don't
year.
I don't there's only like two or three that I know. One just got drafted this year.
Yeah, the dude's a stud.
Hmm.
I can't even remember his name. I know
And then
exactly what his glove looks
and
like. Isn't
then
that
and
funny?
then Vendetti
Yep,
from a
Vendetti.
while ago.
Yeah, is he still playing?
I think so.
He's probably still in the league somewhere.
I watched the MLB YouTube video and Vendetti was in it
Yeah. Oh, okay.
recently, so maybe. So, what positions? Because you said all positions, but what were your main positions before PO?
Believe it or not, first base. I could do the splits until I was like 21.
Oh, nice.
So I
Very
was,
flexible.
yeah, for some odd reason. So I loved first base, but if you're gonna play first base, you usually need to have a big bat, and yeah, I couldn't hit.
Mm.
So I love playing outfield and third. Just put me anywhere except for catcher. I stopped catching like freshman year of high school.
Same for
Thank
me, yeah.
goodness. Yeah, I'm not tough enough for that, honestly.
Were you a tall guy when you were in high school?
No, I grew pretty late. I was a late puberty guy, so up until probably I was undersized until like freshman year of high school. Then I evened out, and then I was probably 6 foot my senior year of high school. So up until like junior senior year, I was pretty average size, maybe a little bit on the taller side, but never a big kid. I also weighed like a buck 50. I looked like
Okay.
you.
Mm. No,
Really skinny. Now I've got a little velo pouch right here.
Mm. Did you get a jump in velocity at all when
Oh
you
yeah,
a
definitely.
lot?
Definitely. And my biggest jump in velocity was when I started to finally put some weight on. Senior year, finally got a little bit of weight, and velo definitely ticked up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big believer in like mass equals gas.
So maybe you can help me out. So I just started ninth grade last month, and in January I'll be trying out for my high school team.
Okay.
So how much different is high school ball compared to travel ball, and what can I see for tryouts?
That's a good question. Difference between like travel ball and high school ball. So, I mean, obvious, you're going to play against kids who aren't your age. You've been mostly playing with your age group, right? So, what are you, 14 or 15?
I'll be 15 in a week.
Okay, so you just finished a 14U season, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you're playing against mostly 14-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to be playing, guys who are
18.
18 years old, which is insane because all of them been through puberty, been in the weight room for 4 years. So that will be different. But you've been playing at a high level of baseball, so I honestly wouldn't worry about it too much. My biggest tip that I can give anyone going into like high school tryouts when you're trying out for a school or a program that has no idea who you are is be like as versatile as possible. Like if you go in there and you're like, I'm the shortstop, they're gonna be like, you're funny. I have an 18-year-old, like you look scrawny or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go in there like, coach, where do you need someone? That's where you go. And then just willing to do anything because you're at an age where you don't have one position yet, probably. I mean, unless you're a one position guy.
No,
But
definitely not.
yeah, definitely not. Yeah, you're jack of all trades. I mean, I knew guys in college who literally like went to college as one position and then their third year moved. One of our guys that actually works here, James Basham, he had not caught a college game, if I'm not mistaken, and then became an All-American catcher for us as a fourth year. And then in his fifth year proceeded to, or sorry, in his sixth year proceeded to be an All-American shortstop. Have you ever seen that? An All-American catcher
No,
transferred into a shortstop? Like
no.
what?
Like catcher and shortstop are completely
Yeah,
different
exactly.
positions.
It's bizarre. But yeah, just be open to playing any position.
Mm-hmm.
Just get on the team, right? If you get on the team, everything else will work itself out.
Mm-hmm. So I want to touch on adversity for a minute. So you had
Right?
Tommy John surgery. When did that happen? And can you talk us through your mindset and how your arm felt during your rehab?
Yeah. So yeah, that was not a fun time to say the least. I actually heard it my senior year of high school in summer ball. Well, I say that probably right before summer ball. I don't know exactly when I heard it.
So right before senior year?
Right before freshman year of college. So end of senior year,
Okay.
right before I went to college. So I like went to the doctor and the first doctor was like, oh, you're totally fine. Take a few weeks off. Of course, I go to college and then, pain's still there. Get more MRIs. And it's like, oh, psych, you do have a tear and you are going to need surgery. So getting to college and, being not like some massive prospect, but like, you got expectations for yourself. And so do everyone else and the coaches showing up and being like, oh, psych, I need surgery. Like that was not a good feeling. Like I felt like a little bit of like an outcast on the team just because it was like I couldn't prove myself. So yeah, freshman year was rough with that. Rehab and stuff was not bad.
How long did it take?
So I did internal brace method. Mine's a little bit different than the regular Tommy John. Mine's a little bit less invasive. So I want to say from the day I had surgery to my first outing on a mound was 10 months. So I mean, it took a while. That's actually quicker than most people, but I did not get my velo back until I want to say 16 months out. It took, we finally had like Christmas break or something, and I'd been throwing at that point for a super, super extended period of time. And I was like, I'm not picking up a ball for like 3 weeks. Did it, velo came back. So yeah.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Sometimes you just need a break, man.
So I think that's advice anyone dealing with this kind of setback can use. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
So let's move on to this awesome store.
Yeah.
First, this is not a commercial. I want people to know that because I'm not being paid to be here. Like every player I know, I love coming here. I mean, just look at this place. This is amazing. All the gloves behind us. This is just crazy. So first of all, thanks for agreeing on this.
Yeah.
That said, when did you start working here and what was your first role?
Okay, actually, I'm going to start back even further than that. So our owner, Glenn, he had a basement that was full of baseball equipment when I was a kid. I was like 7 years old. So I used to shop in his basement a few miles from here. That's where it all started. So I went from a customer in Glenn's basement to a customer across the street. And then my freshman year of college, one of my bosses, Rocco, I was like, yo, dude, like I'm finally like, I want to work here. He'd been like my go-to guy for years. Every time I come in as a customer, it's like, hey, like, I need this. He helped me. So I was like, hey, like, I'm here for summer and Christmas. Like, I have a job. And he was like, yeah. So I did a little interview, got the job. And then I worked retail for pretty much 4 years. And it was only when I was home. So it was only Christmas and summer. And then maybe like some like extended weekends, like this weekend, like I would
Mhm.
probably come home and just like work a day because, broke college kid, need a little bit of money.
Yeah. So did you just say that Better Baseball technically just started in a basement?
Yeah, 100%. It actually started as an emu farm and that
Wow.
failed. And then all the netting and stuff created a netting business and building batting cages. And that turned into selling baseball equipment. And that turned into this place.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Folks, don't quit on your dreams.
Yeah, right there, right there.
Mhm. So that was across the street at the old store. So
Mhm.
now you guys have this beautiful palace full of gloves and full of bats and batting cages. So as you can see, there are endless glove choices. When you talk to young players, how do you help them figure out which glove is the best option for them?
I think 90% of the time the player comes in and they want the coolest looking glove. That's what they're
Mhm.
looking for. But unfortunately, it's not always the best glove for them. So it first question is your age. If you don't have the hand strength to squeeze a pro style glove, it's the worst thing to do for a player. If an 8-year-old comes in here and they want an A2000, I am like, look, man, you can make your own purchase, but I'm telling you, you're really going to regret it. You cannot close that glove, and you're going to have to break it in for 2 years before you can actually use it. So yeah, first thing is age. After that, it's just like small preferences. Most players come in and they know if they're a Rawlings guy or a Wilson guy or Mizuno or whatever. Um, and then they, I ask them a little bit like, what kind of pocket style do you like? Do you wear your glove traditional, finger shift? And then from there, I'm usually able to be like, hey, like, this pattern is usually something you'd probably like. And then like, here's like one or two like off stuff. Like, hey, like, I know you typically like Rawlings, but like, hey, here's one Wilson, here's one Shadow or something like that.
So there are hitting cages in this facility,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can test swing bats. Is there anything like that for gloves?
I mean, you can put any glove on and try it on, but of course, can't quite, totally use it.
Mhm.
With that said, I want to hear if you think this is a good idea. We've thought about breaking in one of every single pattern. So, like,
It's like pre-used,
yeah, like basically pre-used. So
so
you can
people can
feel a
feel.
glove that was like, hey, like this is what it would
That's a
feel
good
like.
idea.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. And we could just get like, it'd probably be, let's call it like 15 generic popular patterns for Rawlings and Wilson, and then just break them all in, all have like one color leather. So they're all like black. So you can't, because that actually does affect the glove, like colors and stuff.
Mhm.
So get like all black and just be like, hey, like this is a 33-inch catch mitt. This is a 34-inch catch mitt. This is the Rawlings one and the Wilson one. Hey, like here's 11 and a half, 11 and 3/4. Here's one broken in two in the pink. Here's one traditional, and just have like a ton of options. And that was really something that we've been talking about hard, and just probably having them lined across the table we're sitting at now and just being like, have them labeled and just like try them on. Do you like that one? Do you like that one? Okay, hey, here's where they are on the wall. So I think that's the next step for us in
Mhm.
gloves.
Yeah. So you guys have a lot of advanced like stuff for bats.
Yeah.
So how do you figure out what size is appropriate for a player for bats?
It varies a little bit. A lot of it is like what your goals are in your age. So like, let's say you're 14, right? You're
Mhm.
pretty big already, but I'm assuming you're gonna hit another growth spurt soon. So I'm gonna talk to the parents, be like, hey, like, you could buy this bat that he's hitting really well right now, but like, if you think he's gonna hit a growth spurt in a month, I don't want you to have to come back here and spend another $500, in 2 months. That's like the worst thing. We don't mind it because we make money, but
Yeah.
like, we don't ever want to have someone have a bad taste in the mouth thinking that we kind of screw them over like
Mhm.
that. So I'll always tell the parent, like, hey, like if your player can swing a little bit of a bigger bat and you want to save some money, do that. Weight and your bat style, your bat choice, your bat length, a lot of it is preference, which is why you get to go in the cage, test them all out. But that vault bat fitting stuff that
Yeah,
we
I wanted
do,
you to talk about the vault.
dude, that's crazy. I mean, I'm not the perfect guy to ask for this because I'm a glove
Yeah.
guy and I'm a PO,
Mhm.
but I mean, they start out with like height, weight, grip strength, and then they're going to talk to you about, hey, contact hitter, power hitter, what have you swung in the past? Let's get some baselines. And then we do what we call like bucketing, right? So it's like, okay, well, we know that you don't want an end loaded bat. You're not strong enough, whatever the case is. It's like, all right, now we know that you're either like a handle load or a mid load. Okay, let's swing a few of these. Okay, well, we know you like a handle load. Okay, well, here's all 5 handle loaded bats that we have in stock. Let's swing all of them and then start narrowing it down. So that stuff is is pretty next level.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get you and Joey in there. You'd have fun.
Mm-hmm. The vault. I saw it the last time I was in here, and it's crazy.
It's insane, and it's like a 1 hour process. Like it takes some serious time
Mm-hmm.
to get all of that data because we want to do it right. So.
Mm-hmm. So I use a 32 drop three. So do you think
Okay.
a player should move up based on strength or based on feel?
Man, I I would do if well, I'll answer this as if I were you. If I'm swinging a 32, but I'm maybe strong enough to swing a 33, I would get a 33 and start swinging in the cages 24/7 until I'm comfortable with it. Whenever I feel comfortable with it is when I should do it. So strength definitely matters because if you don't have the strength, you're not swinging a 33. But comfort and just overall, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't say positivity, but just like being in your head, like knowing, like, oh, confidence.
Like mental,
confidence. Yeah, like going up there with confidence is the most important part. So if you don't feel confident with whatever bat you're swinging, then it's the wrong bat. But the way to gain confidence is just swing and practice.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of say it's kind of like a best of both.
Yeah, best of both worlds.
So I want to talk about the fun packaging videos that you make. So this is when an online customer can get picked to have you film packaging of their order, and they get a free spin on the bonus wheel.
Yeah.
So how did that start?
So it's funny. We actually played around with that idea pretty much right as I came on a little over a year ago. And we were a little hesitant to do that video series because we were like, it's going to show kind of like the warehouse might not look good and this, that, whatever. We also at that point didn't really want a face for the company. We wanted it to be just like, a lot of product. And I kind of kept pushing a little bit. Mm-hmm. And me and my boss finally were like, dude, we got to at least try it.
Did they have you in mind?
Oh, yeah. I know I had myself in mind. So I think they had me in mind. But me and my boss were like, all right, let's at least try it. And the first one did like the best numbers we had seen in like 6 months. So we were like, all right, let's do it again. And it just kept going. And people just loved it. And then people were coming in and they're like, can I see the pack my order guy? Can I get a picture of the pack my order guy? And it was like, all right, we got something here. So we just kept running with that. And there's a bunch of other companies out there doing it too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's been our best decision in content in a long time.
Do you ever get recognized like when you're out in public?
Out in public, it's happened a few times. Like I've had some Braves games, people have known me. I don't think I've ever had it happen at like a grocery store or anything like that.
What about
but here every day?
What about like East Cobb?
Yeah, I've had it happen once or twice at East Cobb. I usually go to East Cobb and Lake Point like one time every summer, just to, like catch a little bit of baseball. I usually have one or two people recognize me, but I'm not like, like Pottstown University or anything, unfortunately.
So have you guys ever had the idea of like randomly like an in-store spin, like an in-person spin?
Yeah, we've been talking about it. We did it kind of sort of on a demo day one time. It was basically like buy any, Wilson company bat. So Louisville Slugger Redeemer, you got a wheel spin. And they were all like gift cards. It was just like different amounts. It was like, $5 to like $250. It was pretty awesome. And people loved it. It was a really good thing. It was a little bit hard to just make work because you had to get everyone's info down and, everyone was writing and handwriting. No one could read all that good stuff. But I had a kid in here the other day and no one get any ideas because I can't do this all the time. But I was walking from our old building over here and I was in the parking lot. This car whipped up beside me and all the windows rolled down. This kid was in the back seat and he goes, I love your videos and you love the store, blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's awesome. He goes, okay, so I skipped school to come here. And I like looked at the parents and like, you guys are awesome. And then
skipping school to go to better baseball.
Yeah, I was like, that is awesome. And he was like, it's my birthday. I skipped school and I just bought this glove. Can I get a wheel spin? And I was like, park the car, come inside. I went in the vault and I was like, hey, like, we don't want any other customers to see it. You got to spin. He got some like a BB hoodie or something like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. I wish I could do it for every customer, but we would probably lose a lot of money. But
I mean, my birthday's this Sunday, so
I think we can make something work.
Do you know what the farthest order has come from? Like maybe something like Alaska or Asia?
So there's a lot of restrictions from our manufacturers on when we can ship stuff like out of the US. With that said, there are times that we've like been able to, if there wasn't a restriction, we've definitely shipped some stuff all over the world. I honestly couldn't tell you where's the longest, but I would assume that we've done some netting jobs in some other countries, if I had to guess.
Oh, nice.
I know we've sent some gear to just about everywhere. But yeah, I don't know in that exact place, unfortunately.
But I can imagine like Japan or like places
Well, I
like
mean, people comment
Australia.
24/7 for Australia and Canada. Occasionally, like Guam, Italy. Like, I mean, dude, there's some crazy ones
The
out there.
country of Georgia, maybe.
Yeah, country of Georgia. But the one right now that we get the most requests for is Canada. And I wish we could make it happen. And sometimes we can, but it's kind of a nightmare. And again, it's actually a restriction from the manufacturers. They don't want us to send stuff over there because they kind of have their own presence and stuff. So that's weird.
So before we hit some wrap-up questions, I want you to think back for a second. So I'll be 15 in a couple of days. If you could go back in time right now, what's something you could tell your 15-year-old self if you could? Not just it could be about anything, not just baseball.
I think one thing that I think I realized it pretty early, but I think I needed a big reminder in college was don't take it too seriously, right? Like we get so wrapped up in outcomes and performance. Sometimes you just gotta like make sure you're still having fun. You don't have to be the best player in the world to love baseball, right? Like I was finishing college ball and was like, I don't know what I can do in my life without baseball. Now I'm working here. So it worked out. But don't ever let baseball not be fun. There are parts of the game that are not fun, right? Like when you go for 3, not fun. When you are injured, not fun. Lifting 5 a.m., not fun. There are parts of the game that are not fun, but realizing it's all worth it for like that one big moment. Like I'm sure you've had some games, you'll walk off hit. Like it's just like numbing. It's a different feeling. You forget all the hard work you did. It became all worth it. So taking a step back, realizing everything that you do is for a reason, and just keep having fun, man. Like just the whole point you start playing when you're 5 should be the same reason you play when you're 30.
Sorry, that was one spot.
It's all good. You were just shell shocked.
Yeah. But thank you for that answer. Yeah. So I love hearing those answers from my guests. But now we're moving to the last part, the not so rapid fire questions. You can answer with as much as the info as you want. You ready?
Oh boy, this is math. I'm just gonna walk out.
No, it's okay. No,
okay,
it's baseball stuff. It's baseball.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
So I had you do this before the interview, but if you could grab any of mitts off the wall, what's your number one choice?
Okay, I get this question literally like almost every day, and it changes almost every day. But one of my my old roommate in college, he went to LSU, then went to my college, and now he is with the Crosscutters in Williamsport. He is throwing phenomenally. And I saw some pictures of him in an article where he was still using like his college glove and it had like 4 different colored laces because it's broke so many times. And I texted him and I was like, I need your address. And he was like, why? I was like, don't worry about it. And I sent him this glove because it's probably my favorite. But this is the Shadow Sub-Zero. Anyone that knows me knows I love Shadow. This is like the perfect amount of like class and flash to me. I love the Columbia blue. I love the eyes and the scratches, but it's still like that natural blonde. But now that me and one of my best friends are rocking, well, not like I'm really rocking it, but now that he's rocking one of my favorite gloves, it makes me like, this is it right now. This is my baby.
Do you know what leather that is?
This is going to be Japanese kip.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I use.
Yeah, Japanese kip's pretty great. It usually comes stiff as a board, but they shape really well. Shadow just put some new inserts in, like thumb and pinky padding, so they made some upgrades there. But if you don't like a stiff glove, this is not the glove for you. If you like stiff, this is the glove.
And that's a pitcher's.
Yeah, pitcher glove. They have some infield gloves, but they do just 99% pitching gloves.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah.
So, what should you never do when breaking in a glove?
Driving over it with your dually truck, leaving it in water for 3 days,
burning it to a crisp,
putting it in the oven, putting it in the microwave,
boiling it.
boiling it. I do. Oh, best one you'll ever hear. If I could find the picture fast enough, I pulled up, but I couldn't. This was our old store. I actually wasn't there that day. A guy had bought a Rawlings Heart of the Hide catcher's mitt, and the guy I'm about to call out, I'm so sorry, I don't know your name, but this is you should be embarrassed for this. So he brought in the catcher's mitt, and he brought it to the front, and the guys were like, "Oh, this is the coolest training mitt I've ever seen. Like, this looks so cool." And they were like, "It whatever." And he was like, "It's not a training mitt." And we're like, "Yeah, it is, dude. That's like that thing's smaller than a youth glove." He's like, "No, I bought it here." I'm like, "We don't sell this." And he was like, "I bought it here." And we're like, "No, you didn't." He goes, "Oh, well, I thought if I put it in the pressure cooker, it would break in the glove." And it literally shrunk the glove, made it concrete, and like just made it super.
And made it a training glove.
Made it a training glove. I mean, but it was like concrete. Like it was like I felt like if you would drop it, it would just break. It was the weirdest thing ever. But yeah, pressure. Don't put your glove in the pressure cooker. That's the best tip I got for you.
Or boiling water.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
So you're from Cobb County. So
Yeah.
do you like Cobb salads?
No, I actually only eat meat, cheese, and fruit. Vegetables are my weakness.
You're the opposite of vegetarian.
Opposite of vegetarian.
Yeah.
My girlfriend asked me the other day, she was like, what's like the one thing that I could do that would make you leave me? I was like, if you try to make me vegan or vegetarian, like I would 100%, no questions asked, you'd be out.
Thank God you don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So besides the Braves, if a team called you tomorrow and said they needed an arm for an inning, who would you want that call to come from?
Rangers.
The Rangers.
Big Rangers fan. When I graduated college, my dad wanted to take me on a trip to Texas because he does a lot of work out there. And he just wanted to do a little baseball trip. So we did we were only gone like 3 days. We went to the Nakona store, or sorry, not their store, their factory. And then I went to a Rangers game and an Astros game, but I had emailed both teams and the Rangers gave me like free tickets, free parking, free food, gift card, like hooked me up. And they were just like, yeah, just like make some content for us. So after that, I was like a big Rangers fan. They won that game.
Oh, nice.
And I loved Arlington and I loved Texas. So like Texas is my secondary team. And honestly, they have the best City Connect uniforms. Hot take, and everyone's going to hate me for that. But I love their City Connects. Mm-hmm. So, and then of course they won the World Series. Right? Yeah. They're like the cream off white.
Yeah.
Of course I go there and then they win the World Series. So coincidence.
Did you go to the All-Star game?
No, didn't get to go to the All-Star game. We'll see what happens here in Atlanta though.
Yeah, that'll be.
We're excited for that. We're going to try to find a way to like make me do a packing order on the field or something.
So yeah. So when you're not making baseball content, what's something people would be surprised to know about you?
Gosh. It might not look like it. I really like working out, but I don't really look like it because I eat a lot.
No, it's okay.
I have a cat.
You have a cat?
I don't think a lot of people see me as a cat guy, and I love my cat. Me and my cat are best friends. Actually, me and my roommate both have 2 orange cats.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I think that's like kind of weird if people ever came and like, dude, live with another dude and have 2 orange cats. Kind of weird.
Yeah. I never would see you as a cat guy.
Yeah, I love cats.
That's awesome. DC or Marvel?
Oh, Marvel. I love DC like characters, but their movies have not been the best. So I think DC still got a lot of room to grow.
Did you see the new Deadpool movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. It was
awesome.
Great. I loved it. I loved it. I've got that bye stuck in my head for forever. And also I put a headband on the other day and I swooshed my hair a little way and I was like, I look like Gambit. So I took a video of me. I was like, what is the line?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I was like, oh, I can't even remember the scene where he's like, woo! I'm about to make a name for myself. Yeah. So I've been doing that in the mirror for like 3 weeks. I think that's what I'm going to be for Halloween.
You are?
Yeah, I think that'd be hilarious.
Headband on.
Headband. I'll do like the hair off the side and I'll like the big coat and I'll just get a thing of cards and learn how to like card throw maybe.
Take some bad accent lessons.
Yeah, bad accent lessons.
Yeah. And last one, what is your favorite baseball movie of all time?
Okay. I love when people ask me this question because like no one has picked up on this. My name or my old social name is Beauty in the Game. And that was a straight complete ripoff of For Love of the Game. It's my favorite movie by far. I think if that's not in your top 3, you're insane. It's the best mix of both a chick flick, because I'm a sucker for chick flicks, and a real baseball movie. It's got injury, it's got like perfect game, it's a pitcher. I also love Kevin Costner. So by far, no doubt, For Love of the Game, best baseball movie in the world. And if it's not in your top 3, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah. Everyone that disagrees, yeah.
Yeah, be really careful.
Don't cross this guy.
Yeah.
So I love this. Michael Miami Buice, everyone. I'm making it a thing. Even if
it's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
All your co-workers are gonna call you that from now on.
Yeah, whenever this is posted, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna walk upstairs and be like, "What up, Miami?" And it's just gonna be like, "Oh boy, here it is."
So this is awesome. Thank you for this. Do you have fun?
Yeah, dude, it's great.
I have some merch for you. First, I have a podcast shirt,
dude,
comfy shirt.
Oh, dude, the colors on this are kind of electric. The light blue on that pops. You have a good logo, dude.
Thank you.
That's sweet, dude. Thank you.
It's super comfy.
Yeah, no, that is actually like super soft. Oh yeah. I know what this is. Yeah, this is good stuff.
I also have a few stickers for you.
Dude, I'm a sticker guy. I don't have a truck anymore. I used to have my truck covered in stickers. I don't have that anymore. Now I just put them in my room, but that will they will go to good use. So.
And a sauce hat for you.
Dude, sauce hat. Let's go, dude.
Go sauce.
Go sauce. It's saucy. I feel like I just did like the commitment thing. I like put the hat on.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I felt when I put that on.
I'm committed to sauce.
Committed to the sauce.
Yeah.
You are the sauce.
So anything else you want to add or ask me?
I was thinking about that. I was like, I gotta ask you at least like one good question. I'm gonna try to word this as best I can. So you are at a really fun age for baseball. You're 14. You're starting to be old enough to really learn the game. You've been doing all these podcasts. You train. Also, shout out this kid. You've got really good squat form. No sissy squats out of you. Mm-hmm. This guy goes.
I gotta shout out my coach Steven moves on for those squat formations.
Yeah, dude, your squat's legit. You honestly, as skinny as you are, you move more weight than I thought. So the more you stay in there, and once you hit puberty and start eating, dude, you're gonna be a monster in the weight room. But you're at a really interesting age. You're learning a lot of stuff. You're doing a lot of stuff. What is the one thing that you either think is really going to help your game or is helping your game?
I would say working out a lot. Mm-hmm. I've been working out for I think over 2 years now. And I can see the progress.
Yeah.
Too. I've been keeping up with just like the mental side and the physical side. So I think working out has been and my trainer, Coach Steve, he's like the best trainer ever. Shout out Coach Steve. So I think it'd be working out, but also like doing these podcasts and learning like more baseball knowledge.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. And the best part about you learning how to lift now is how much it's going to help you later. Mm-hmm. Like if you see benefits right now, just wait. Wait until you're in a weight room with like a bunch of college dudes and you push each other every day. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, I wish I had gotten into lifting earlier because when I got to college, I was 3 steps behind everyone. And I did not feel comfortable lifting until my junior year of college when I finally was like, okay, I know what I'm doing. And like, I saw progress. It took that long. So it's really good that you're doing it at a young age.
Mm-hmm. So anything else?
One more. Why, like I said, you're at a fun age, right? Like you're at an age where you choose to play baseball. It's not because your dad made you or because you need to do something after school or whatever. Like, why do you play baseball? What makes you like the game? And why do you want to keep playing? I assume you want to keep playing.
Yes. I want to go as long as I can possible in the game because baseball is such a fun sport. And I think people that have played it for a while know that feeling when you're just are you good?
Yeah, sorry.
I think people that know the feeling when you're winning and you're having lots of fun with your teammates and your friends.
Yeah.
So I just want to keep this going as long as I can. And I'd like to do something baseball related in the future.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. If it doesn't work out on the field, man, you can always do something in the baseball world.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to like tell you you're not going to make it, but like I think that's something that people need to realize. Like you can love the sport and not play it though your whole life. Honestly, it's for a lot of people, it's probably good because trust me, my arm really was hurting by the end of my career. I could not move, and now I'm like, oh, I get to enjoy baseball every day, sell gloves and bats.
Like for you, this is an awesome dream. Like just this room.
Yeah, this room itself is literally like an embodiment of everything I love.
we could have gone in a batting cage and it would have been cool.
Yeah. But of course, there's no better backdrop than glove wall.
Glove wall's the best. All right. Thanks again for your time. And thank you for Better Baseball for having me. Please check them out in person if you are in the Atlanta area or make an online purchase because you might just get this guy to film your packaging.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow Michael on social media, check out at Beauty in the Game on Instagram and TikTok. And listeners, you can follow me at Baseball Podcasts Are Fun on Instagram, on YouTube, and Spotify. Please check back soon for an all-new guest. Until then, I'm Grayson Knight. This was Michael Miami Buice. And this is Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. Don't forget to swing for the fences. See ya.